Good morning. My name is Leslie Williams, and I'm in San Diego, California. And I'm a little bit video shy, so please excuse some of my demeanor when I'm making videos. I'm in San Diego, California, and I'm a target of what is known as organized stalking. And today's date is October 16th, 2012, as you can clearly see by this phone. If this video stops while I'm in the middle of talking, please look in the comments feature of this YouTube video for a YouTube title that you can copy and paste into YouTube for a continuation of the statements pertaining to this video. I'm in San Diego, California. I'm a target of what is known as organized stalking, which is also known as gang stalking. And you can Google in YouTube gang stalking or organized stalking and clearly be able to see that it's nothing but organized crime in the system. Now, targets of organized gang stalking cannot rent apartments, and the reason why they can't is because basically they get landlords and property owners on board in these schemes of harassment in order to drive targets out of their apartment. And if that don't work, if the harassment and the breaking and entering and the thefts and the non-stop harassment in these apartments, which include electronic harassment. Electronic harassment is where they can literally harass you auditorily from a distance using technological capabilities. And that can be Wikipedia'd, and you can also research the fact that Maine and Michigan have laws concerning electronic harassment. It's called the microwave auditory effect. Between the technological assets of electronic harassment and the technological capabilities of them being able to shut down all video and audio equipment in your home, like your TV, your computer, including destroying your electronic equipment, on top of the break-ins and then the non-stop harassment in reference to how they'll literally even rent apartments next to targets in order to drive them crazy, to drive them out of their apartment. If these tactics and methods don't work, what they'll do is steal your rent or get landlords and property owners on boards in reference to trying to bring about, they're called staged incidences, where they literally will bring about events that they stage in order to then blame the event on the target to make it look like they have a legitimate apparent reason to evict a target. Go to Google and type in organized stalking and or gang stalking, rent apartments next to targets. Then in a separate search, Google organized stalking or gang stalking and landlords or property owners. Then do the same thing with mail theft and or mail delaiment and or postal workers. This is usually when the theft of the rent comes into play. So a target then leaves their apartment, they get another one, same thing happens. Because in organized gang stalking expeditions, they literally stalk you from apartment to apartment. Then they'll stalk you to motel room to motel room. It's nothing but organized crime in the system that is used in civic groups, organizations in the community, and the power positions that are steering this are basically doing nothing but using what is known as the community notification to send out falsified community notifications to the community at large to get the community in part to harass a target while they're out within the community, like at businesses, transportation routes, and so on and so forth, to harass a target for them for free. And the end result is racketeering and human trafficking and sexual servitude rings and even research, because they make money off the research that they remote neural monitoring is also used against the target. That can be thoroughly Googled and YouTubed, and then when you see that it's always incorporated within organized gang stalking expeditions, you'll clearly see that remote neural monitoring is also used against the target, and that is in part where the behavior modification and the research is brought into play in these expeditions. And then what they do is sell the research. Go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager of organized gang stalking crews, and he flat out states that targets are considered nothing but lab rats. Now, my name is Leslie Williams. There's a lot of information in here for you to scrutinize. Again, if this video stops, look in the comments feature of this YouTube video for a continuation of it. So what's the point in renting an apartment when they basically drive you crazy to either get you to move, and if that don't work, they'll literally cause you to have to move. Then they put you out on the street, because after you go to a motel room and realize that your motel room has been entered when you were gone, things were stolen, you decide to go camping. And then that's where they start bringing around incidences towards you when you're camping to make it look like the police have a legitimate reason to approach you. And this is done for falsified police reports and to also try to steer you into community resources that they control from behind the scenes. It's organized crime in the system, and I'm talking about charities, churches, Salvation Army, social services like you would not believe, I have undisputable physical, tangible proof that is wide in scope, and it's totally 100% physical in its integrity that this crime is happening towards me. But how do I get help when it's organized crime in the system, the very system I should be running to for help? I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. UCSD, SDSU, and USD was, when I was going there between August 24th, 2011 and May 22nd, 2012, are intercepting all of my emails for help. And this is done in order to keep me isolated in this campaign so the campaign can continue unfeathered and without public scrutiny. And so I make these videos in order to be able to help you understand what's really going on. And another thing, your students, the students at UCSD and at SDSU are being used through these community notifications, through fraternities as well, and through other types of organizations that are on college campuses. They're approached by individuals that are directly connected to the manager of these expeditions and told lies about targets. That in turn motivates the students to harass a target like me for free. And they're told how to harass a target. And it's done through sensitization tactics. I'm in San Diego, California, and I make these videos in order to help you understand something. When students are approached, on any given day when I go to a university campus, I am harassed either through physical gestures or through what is known as sound sensitizations, synchronized coughing, crafted coughing, physical gestures, or direct conversation tactics. And this is being done at least 70% by students who are duped to do it for them for free based on a lie. And let me help you understand something. Whenever a student is approached and told a lie about a target and then told what to do, they're literally being brain entrained. Yes. And if you don't think remote neural monitoring is not being used in brain entrainment, I suggest you go to YouTube and type in Timothy W. Bioethics Issues. That's where he talks about neurocognitive weapons and brain entrainment. The neurocognitive weapons are the remote neural monitoring and, in part, sometimes neurocognitive implants. Now, this video talked about a lot of things. I don't expect you to understand everything that I've mentioned in this particular video right away, because you have to do investigative research in order to understand it. But I want you to understand something very clearly. I have been a victim of this crime now for 10 full years, every single day. There's hundreds of thousands of targets of this crime right now in the United States. There's petitions all over the internet. And everything that I've described to you, you'll be able to understand that they are factual realities by doing your research. And when you come to see the technology and the capability and the powerfulness of remote neural monitoring, you'll clearly be able to understand that your students, your sons and your daughters, are being exploited to harass a target. And as a result of how they're told to harass a target, their brains are literally being neurally mapped by the handlers of remote neural monitoring. Go to YouTube and type in John Hall Satellite Terrorism. I strongly suggest you be patient and listen to every single one of those videos. And if you do, once you connect the dots in reference to researching all the descriptions that I've described to you, synthesize it, and then scrutinize it, you'll clearly be able to see that, understand this is organized crime in the system. They're not just using your son or daughter to harass a target and then let them walk away. I was a college student when this openly started towards me. I'm in San Diego, California. Just do the research. I make these videos for you to inform, and I'm here today to tell you, fellow American citizens, the San Diego police are directly involved in this crime towards me. And they came here yesterday when I was gone and took the tarp off of I'm hiking in California, and they took the tarp off my tent and threw it right next to the tent, and then kicked the tent, because I could tell that it was kicked by a foot because the indentation of the tent, the front of the tent. And this is done to make me fearful that they're going to steal my hiking stuff, because it's all about creating post-traumatic stress and getting up in your head to make you fearful of what's going to happen next. And they slashed my tires at UCSD, a bike that was locked up 5 feet away from the UCSD Biomedical Library and 5 feet away from the Dean's office. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and today's date is October 16th, 2012. Scrutinize meticulously everything I've described in this YouTube video, and you'll clearly be able to see this crime is not only happening towards me, but hundreds of thousands of Americans right now in real time. Thank you.